Good morning, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, so I'm not waiting on nobody to pop in. God just revealed some stuff to me, and it was about impulse calling. I was talking to my best friend, right? And we were having a conversation, and I had some like weird energy vibes, and I made an impulse call. And the person, oh, sorry, y'all, I dropped you. The person that I called did not answer. And my best friend was like, do you realize that every time you make an impulse call like that they don't never answer the phone? And I was like, oh, it's funny. God be protecting me and them. But let me tell you that doesn't only flow with the bad energy, okay? Because there are a lot of times where I do be in my feelings about stuff and I make a phone call to the person because I'm a communicator. So I make a phone call to the person that, I have those feelings for, and they don't answer. But then by the time they call me back, I've calmed down enough to be able to have a logical conversation with them, right? Oh, sorry, I keep dropping y'all. I gotta be still. But by the time they call me back, I have thought enough about it and released a lot of the energy, so I've calmed down enough to have a logical conversation about it. But it also happens with the good things. There have been people where God has been revealing certain things to me or saying certain things to me for a specific person. And then I'll call that specific person and they won't answer. They won't answer. Okay. But it's good that they don't answer because by the time I call them back, God has given me a more full picture of what I was supposed to tell them. So it's almost like they don't answer because either the energy that I have at that moment does not need to be given for a bad thing, or the vision that I have is not complete, or the purpose or the message that I have for them is not complete. So they don't answer because by the time these people call me back, I have a full purpose of talking to them at that moment. So let me tell you something. It's so funny because the law of attraction says where energy goes, where energy flows, right? I'm so glad that the law of God gives me a different type of protection because if I had talked to those people when I was upset or when I was really deeply in those initial emotions, it could have damaged something that was not necessary. It could have caused chaos that was not necessary, right? If I would have spoken to those people when that message was given to me initially and they initially answered the phone, they would have only gotten a half message. They wouldn't have gotten the full message. So it's imperative that you pay attention to the things that are happening in your life, because I had no idea that was happening until my best friend said something about it. My eyes did not see that. So listen to the people on the outside of you too, because they see things that you don't see. Be okay with what you hear, the good, the rough, all of it. Everything is character building. Sometimes we have character building moments. People like, oh, we had a bad day today. No, it was a character building day. Today was a character building day for me, but it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just like, wow, I see that happens to me. I had no idea. Anyhow, I just had to tell y'all that I wouldn't even let her talk to me no more until I got this out of my head. Okay, I just love the fact that no matter where it's good or it's bad or challenging or rough or character building, no matter what it is, God still will make it to where it's given at the right time in the right space to the right person. Just remember that if a message is for somebody, be still sometimes until you told to move. I'm an impulse person. If I feel it, I go after it. Sometimes that is an amazing thing, and it has taken me to amazing places. But sometimes I have to sit back. Sometimes that impulse needs to be, hold on now. You can't give everybody an impulse. You can't give all things the impulse. Sometimes you have to let time do what it's supposed to do. Okay? And let me tell you something. People who know me know exactly what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I'm talking about. But if it wasn't for her talking to me this morning and acknowledging that in the energy, it just, y'all have no idea. Sometimes stuff be revealed to me from the people that I know, that I talk to on a regular basis about me. And I be like, dang, that's what's up. I didn't know. So now I get to pay attention to that. And then I told her, I was like, now next time I see it, I'm gonna recognize it. And she was like, oh yeah, you probably gonna giggle about it. I'm probably gonna giggle about it, because those impulse feelings sometimes need to be held on to and reeled in before they're given, because they need to be given at the right time. They'll be given when the time is right. And you'll know when the time is right. Because when the time is right for me, that person always calls me back. And they call me back and the energy is very different. Or they call me back and the vision is very different than what I initially had. Don't shortchange you. Don't shortchange other people. Just don't. You got this. It's just, my mind was just blown when I heard that that's what happens to me. I had no idea. And then she was like, it's just divine. It divinely happens like that. God be protecting me from my own self sometimes. And then he also be protecting me from doing half work. Hold on. I understand. They not going to answer you. Sometimes they not going to answer you. Sometimes they just not. You got to understand that when it's time, it's time. You got to know that when it's time, it's time. But that time ain't going to be that time until you understand, until God gives you that time. He ain't going to let it happen till the time is right. So at the end of the day, all I wanted to tell y'all is to control that impulse. Let God do what he going to do. Let God do what he going to do. Sometimes that message ain't needed at that moment. But when it's needed, it'll be right. And sometimes that message is not needed at all. So I just be like, okay, listen, I got it. Them impulses, I thank you for protecting. Thank you for controlling them. Because sometimes I don't even think about it. If it come up in my head, it come out. So be mindful of those impulses. Be mindful of when God tells you, hold on, don't force it. Be mindful of the times where you have to sit back and wait. Don't force it, because it's important. It's important for multiple reasons. Okay? Woo! Y'all don't understand. That's crazy. I had no idea that happened to me. For y'all that just popped in, let me tell you what's going on. I'll give you a short version. The short version is, I sometimes call people off of impulse depending on how I'm feeling, and it always works out the same way, whether it's good or it's bad or challenging. Character building is what I like to call it. That's what I said. So sometimes what happens is I'll call somebody and I'll have a negative energy about me and they won't answer. But the conversation still needs to happen so that when they call me back, my energy is very different. I'm able to have a conversation about it. Then sometimes God will give me a message for somebody and I'll call them because I felt them immediately. But then they won't answer. Why? Because the message isn't complete. By the time I get ready to talk to them or by the time they call me back, I have a full message for them that God has given me. So my message to y'all today is be mindful when God tells you to hold on. It ain't a no. It's a hold on. And you'll know when it's a hold on. You'll know. And then when the time is right, guess what? The time will be given to you. That door will be open. That opportunity will present itself for whatever needed to be talked about, whatever needed to be said will be said. Okay? Just be mindful of those impulses. If you function off of impulse like I do, then just be mindful of what happens after the fact. If somebody says it to you, pay attention to it, because mine came from an outside source. I didn't pay attention that happened to me, that they don't answer. Hold on is not a no, period. It's not. You just got to hold on sometimes. You just got to hold on. Even in the good times, you're going to have to hold on. You're going to be so gung-ho about getting and seeing and experience the things that you know is coming. Just hold on. Your time is coming. Don't give up. Be consistent. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Just those impulses, be careful. Pay attention to how the outcome is and why it is like that. Because my best friend called it divine. She was like, it's divine that they don't answer their phone, whether it's good or whether it's character building. She said it was divine. So just pay attention to the road that God has you on. Pay attention to the things that He wants you to pay attention to so that you can build that character that's necessary for the journey that you're on and the journey that you're pursuing. Okay? Be mindful of the things that happens inside of an impulsive thought or action. Okay? Be mindful. Be mindful of how your impulse reactions, and be mindful of how they affect other people. Be mindful. Yes, take care of self and do what's right for self, but consider other people in the process. It's important. And sometimes just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on 1 second. You know how you see mama in the kitchen and she be doing what she doing, and you be like, hey mama, and she say, just hold on. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. Just hold on. It ain't a no. It's to just give me a minute. The time ain't right just yet. I got to do what I'm doing, and I promise you I'll be back. Sometimes you just got to hold on. Just hold on. Be impulsive if that's necessary for your personality, because I'm impulsive. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how to change it. It just is what it is. If I feel it, it happens. It is what it is. I don't know how to stop that. I actually like me that way, so I wouldn't want to stop it. But I'm so glad that I serve a God that does stop it before it proceeds to where it's not time yet. Okay? Anyway, y'all, I'm done preaching to y'all this morning. I'm complete. I'm full. That just got to me. When she said it, it just got to me. It got to me, and I was like, hold on. She couldn't say nothing else to me at that moment, okay? Because I needed to make sure that this was put out there. It was important. It was important. Impulsives, hold ons. Impulsiveness and hold on. I guess whoever this is for y'all enjoy it, because I got mine. I got mine this morning, okay? All right, y'all. I'm done. I just wanted to share that with you. It's funny how God works and how He works even when you don't see it. You don't see it. And ain't that faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Is that not faith? That is faith. When He protecting you and you don't even know it, you asking for protection. And you have no idea you being protected. But then when you see it, it be like, woo! I'm telling you, I got so excited. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for God. I'm thankful to God for the people that He's placed in my life at the time that He's placed them. You know why? Because sometimes those people pour into me just like I pour into them. And I've been looking for that for a long time. And it just be the little stuff. It be the little stuff. Be mindful. Be mindful of those impulsive thoughts and actions. Pay attention to what the outcome is. Pay attention to what your purpose is. Pay attention to what happens in the in-between. Because it's those in-betweens that get me. When these people aren't answering the phone when I call them, it's what happens in between me getting that call, between then and me getting that call back, that makes the difference. If it's a call that my energy at that time, I'm upset or something is going on at that time for that person and that person doesn't answer, the energy is shifted by the time I get to them. Something happens. Don't think that nothing happens. Something happens in the in-between time. Something happens in the in-between time. If it's a good call, I'm calling somebody to give them something that God gave me, and they don't answer the phone. The rest of their message is given to me in the in-between time. Something happens. Y'all better Pay attention. Pay attention to the in-between times. Sometimes it may hurt. Sometimes it ain't gonna feel good. Sometimes it's gonna be hard to keep moving. Sometimes you ain't gonna know how. Sometimes you ain't gonna know why. Sometimes you gonna get to the point where you're gonna have to fight. Sometimes you just gotta rest. Sometimes you gotta sit still. Sometimes you gotta have faith. Sometimes you gotta trust. It's a package purpose for everything that happens. Don't worry about them not answering. Don't worry about the not answering part. Worry about the end result. How you get there is all on God, because there is a shift. There is a shift that happens in between the now and the then. There is a shift. But that ain't what I came on here for. And I told y'all by 20,000 hours ago, but I couldn't help it. It did something to me to understand when the light clicked. It clicked. It just clicked. When the light happened, it was just like, oh my God, you have been protecting me all this time and I had no idea. Oh my God, you've been protecting them all this time and I had no idea. Oh my God, you have shifted the atmosphere in the in-between time and I had no idea, because it's been happening. I'm just now seeing it, but it's been happening. For somebody else to come to me and say, hey, do you realize that every time you try to call somebody, they don't answer the phone? And then by the time you get to them, it's what happens in the in-between time that makes the difference. If God don't tell you to stop, you keep going. Because that message will be given to you. That purpose will be given to you. That word will be given to you. That intent will be given to you. That energy that needs to be shifted will be given to you. It will be given. Just keep going. Don't worry about what happened. Don't worry about the fact that you come to a stumbling block. Don't worry about the fact that you got to a point of, I can't see how I'm going to make it through this. Don't worry about how dark it gets. Just worry about the end result. And the end result is ultimately up to God, because in the process of what He's taking you through, you will shift. If you trust Him, if you have faith in Him, if you continue to worship Him, if you continue to give Him the glory and all that, it will shift. It will shift. Energy goes where energy flows. Flow all of your energy into the good and everything else will shift. Man, I'm done with y'all this morning. I'm done. I am done. I'm done. I didn't know that was coming out. All I knew was I was excited about finding something else out new that God has done for me. So at this point, whatever y'all get out of this is what y'all get out of this. Thank you for joining me. But at the end of the day, continue to let God grow you. And sometimes He uses other people to do that. It may make you mad. Sometimes you ain't going to like that character building, but that's okay. Say thank you to the people who actually say something. And you can feel that their intent is genuine. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I had no idea that was happening, y'all. I had no idea. So that's what y'all got this morning. Y'all got an overflow cup. Okay, y'all just got a little spillage out of what just happened. But I'm done. I'm done. Period. JR. Period. He said purpose will drop all of the right people into your life. People forget that purpose is ordained. But you get to determine what that is. What gifts and talents do you have? What skills do you have? Pour your energy into magnifying those things that make you happy in life. Pour your energy into magnifying those things that you love. Pour your energy into those things that you know that it doesn't feel like work no matter how much you do it, because you love to do it that much. And you'll get the purpose that's for you. You'll be living the purpose that's for you, and you'll start to experience a lot of the happiness that people are talking about. Sometimes those impulsive thoughts are good. And if you work off of those impulsive thoughts, like I told y'all earlier, sometimes my impulsive thoughts have taken me to places I never thought I would get to. But because I just worked on whatever I saw or heard at that moment or felt at that moment, it took me to a place. It took me to a place. Impulse is not always a bad thing. Impulsiveness is not a bad thing at all. Just be mindful of what God does inside of that impulsiveness. Okay? He gonna tell you to hold on. He might even redirect your path. He might even place you in a position you never thought. And because you were receptive to that, just give me a moment, because you were receptive to hold on, baby, not only did you miss a lot of things that the devil meant for you, you also gained a lot of things that God meant for you, because he put you on a path because you decided to hold on when God told you to. Be impulsive. If you feel it, you feel it for a reason. If you feel it for a reason. Be impulsive. But pay attention to what happens in that impulsiveness, from the now to the then, and the shift that happens in between. A good or character building. That's all I got for y'all this morning. That's it. I'm done. I said that 2 days ago, and I'm still talking 2 days later. But all I'm saying is that just got to me this morning, and it was a message, and I needed to get that out there. So I'm done for the day. Y'all go in peace. Enjoy your day. Pray for everything that goes before you. Pray for the people around you, and continue to live the life that is ordained for you. Don't let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do. Okay? Don't let nobody stop you. It's your life. You get to choose. You can choose. So keep going. Keep pushing. Keep loving. Keep being impulsive. Keep being okay with character building days. Keep being okay with the good days. Fill your tank and store your tank with the people who you know will push you and create that building in you. Continue to live an abundant life because God wants you to. Continue to live in prosperity because God wants you to. Continue to be successful because God wants you to. Continue to be faithful, and all these things will be added unto you. Bye, y'all.